Well, I'm pleased with the night. You know, we want the win, and I certainly in set 3, as we're that close, thought we could close it out with all those set points. But like I said, overall, I'm pleased with the win. The reason we play these matches is to see what our strengths are, see what our weaknesses are, and kind of give us a benchmark for December when we're facing a team like this come NCAA tournament. And what we've seen the last 2 weeks from our team, 2.5 weeks as we've been training, I thought serving would be our strength, and it was our weakness tonight. 13 errors to only 2 aces. And I thought our offense wasn't ready and would be our weakness. And we're hitting 300 against the number 3 team in the country, and hitting a good percentage overall. So I like that progression because our offense had me a little concerned, and I really like what we were able to do. I'm not concerned about our serving. We will be an excellent serving team throughout the season. We have the right people in there. We have 6 excellent servers. We just got to nail in the nerves, I think, was a little bit of it. I think we were just maybe too amped up, and then we overthought it. But if we can be a great serving team and flip that number, we're really close.
Questions? Okay, wow. I think this might be my first Division I match in person, Lindsay, so hang with me. You touched on this a little bit, but let me ask it directly. That's a big team. I mean, that's the number 3 team in the country. What did tonight tell you?
Well, it tells me we're a big team, and we're good. We just couldn't execute long enough. As the rally went on, that's going to go in their favor. And we needed to be a little bit better earlier in rallies, in first ball swings, and at the service line. And we just weren't good enough in that aspect of the game to shut down those long rallies. Because there's a couple positions we can't match up with their size. And they were out a few starters tonight, too, that bring even more size. So they weren't at full strength. But, certainly their middle gave us a lot of trouble that we couldn't match up with. That was able to overpower us with her size.
Is that the difference then? In between the teams?
It's a little bit of everything, if you're being honest. I mean, they're serving extremely tough. Some of our best serves, they're nailing the passes. They're able to score out a system. They're bringing a big arm on every swing. So it's a little bit of everything. But I thought some aspects that were controllable on our side was the first contact is where we got to be better.
I'm going to forget a name here for you guys. UNC, I'm sorry. Gabby, freshman. I don't see the game the way you do, but she played better as the match went on. What does that tell you? Because it looked to me like that's yet another power at the net if she can join Mackenzie.
For sure.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Yes. No, I thought Gabby had a very good first night. To be in the starting lineup as a freshman with that type of an environment and opponent could be a lot, and it certainly wasn't too big for her. She handled it well. We had asked her to be aggressive, and she certainly was. So her errors even were aggressive errors, and that's what we want from her. Yeah, she's got a big arm. She's going to have a phenomenal career in a Bears jersey if we get more of what we saw tonight. And so what I told the team after the match, the whole team, is that I thought we got significantly better as the match went on. We maybe got better in those 2 hours than we did in the last week of practice. And so that's why we play these matches, is the development that I saw over the course of the match, and especially Gabby, as you mentioned, was tremendous.
Last question, at least for me. Again, I'm new to this environment. The atmosphere tonight, the environment, electric.
It was awesome. I mean, it honestly chokes me up because we've worked so hard at that over the summer to pack this place, to bring in that type of opponent and to get the Greeley community excited about volleyball and the level that we can play. And I took a moment where I looked around and I got goosebumps and literally choked up because that's what we want to see, and it was awesome.
And then game 3 alone, was just like a little microcosm of the whole thing. You happy with tonight? Seems like you're happy with tonight. Pretty happy.
I'm never going to be happy with a loss.
Never going to be happy with a loss.
I'm really not. I mean, I am pleased with some things, and I'll sleep good tonight, but I'm not going to be ever pleased with a loss, and that's why our program's going to drive to be better. Because if we're on this home floor in November for a Big Sky Championship, we got to come through in some of those moments.
A good game 1, a good match 1.
It was a good starting point for our season.
Lindsay, we talked earlier this week. You had some big questions. Did you fill any of those questions you had earlier this week?
Right now, I really like our lineup, and that was a question going into this match because we changed our lineup from what we just played against Creighton in our exhibition match. And so I thought Annette Baker gave us a good lift at middle back defense. She was our starting right side a week ago. And Gabby, as a freshman, we already talked about her. She did a phenomenal job on the right side. So those were some of the question marks. And yeah, I think we answered those with a resounding yes, this is our lineup right now. Now, is it in November? I don't know. But right now, this is our best chance to win matches.
I'm emotional. I know you're emotional. This was a big match. I've never wrestled big time volleyball, but nothing like you have. Talk about the students. The students seem to be really, and I think early on in the first set, from what I saw, it kind of had an effect on Stanford. They were stunned early. Talk about how your team came out very aggressive.
That's the home court environment. I mean, sometimes it gets taken for granted what a student section can do. And that's why we need a student section for all of our sports, is that it really can impact plays. They are, the seventh man for us, the 12th man in football. Like, they are that. And the home court environment tonight helped us win some points.
Now, in the second set, Stanford kind of had its way. The first and third set, it was back and forth. Mm-hmm. What happened in that second set? Was it Stanford just kind of getting into their rhythm? Were we overthinking? What was it from your point of view? It
was 2 serving runs. We were playing with them, except for 2 runs where we just couldn't serve receive well enough to get a side out and to get in rhythm. And that's going to happen against good teams. We're going to do that to teams at times. And I can't say it shocks me that at moments it got away from us. That's, I think, to be expected at this point in our season. I like how we responded because that could have very easily bled into set 3 and more of the same. And so it showed some grit on our team's part to come out of the locker room at the break and rally the way we did in set 3.
And you told me earlier this week that these 2 matches are basically the setup for the end of the season when you have a quick turnaround. You have a very quick turnaround, play in less than 24 hours. What do you got to do to get ready for Kentucky, who's just off the road right now at Colorado State?
Yeah, I love back-to-back matches because that's what our Big Sky tournament is. So to be honest, I guess I don't love them, but that's what will prepare us for the Big Sky tournament where we do play 3 nights back-to-back. So we want to be playing back-to-back nights against tough competition to prepare us for that. And really even, the ultimate goal is to be advancing in the NCAA tournament. Those are going to be back-to-back nights. And so you're going to turn around and play 2 teams like we're doing right now, Stanford and Kentucky, and we want to be able to knock off that first night. So this is important for that benchmark for December.
And finally, obviously Stanford had the target on their back tonight, being the ranked seed. You're the target, one that has the target on the back in the league. But how much will this probably help you for preparation for league play and beyond, knowing that you're going to be the hunted instead of the huntee down the road?
Yeah, in that regard, there isn't correlation. Like, when we get to September, there's a different feel. We feel maybe a little bit of the hunted, but we got to have the mindset that we're always the team attacking and going after something, because that's what we're doing. We're not trying to protect what we did last year or protect a number 1 preseason poll, which is meaningless. We are trying to go win a championship and advance the NCAA tournament, and that's what we're hunting. And so regardless of who stands in our way, I want us to have that mindset that we're essentially the underdog, because we're going to go pursue like an underdog every night.